Welcome to Nation's Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. I have something that is in the form of updates for you, and this has to do with viral videos that have gone so popular in the past 24 hours. Now, first of all, talking about the ongoing presidential elections petitions tribunal, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has asked that the presidential elections petitions court should announce him as the winner of the February 25th, 2023 elections after he fails in his address that the Independent and National Electoral Commission, INEC, have acknowledged that the PDP presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, got the highest valid votes in up to 21 states. This was made known in his final written address at the Court of Appeal. So, I have a very comprehensive documentary on the Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal and its proceedings, and I have the reason why Atiku Abubakar is really asking the court or praying the court to declare him winner or will have a runoff of elections. So watch this video.
The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has said that the Independent National Electoral Commission's assertion that he won in 21 states has not been debunked by the Commission or other parties before the Presidential Election Petition Court so far. Atiku stated this in his final written address before the court as he asked the Election Petition Court to uphold the declaration of INEC that he won the 21 states in the February 25 presidential election. The address was filed on July 20 in support of his joint petition with the PDP seeking the nullification of INEC's declaration of Bola Tinibu as winner of the poll. INEC had, in its response to Atiku's petition, asserted that the PDP's presidential candidate won 21 states of the federation in the last presidential poll. The states listed are Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Borno, Delta, Ekiti, Gombe, Jigawa, Kaduna, Katsina, Kebbi, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Niger, Osun, Sokoto, Taraba, Yobe, and Zamfara states. The former vice president said that since the Independent National Electoral Commission, which on its own averments claimed that he won states and did not reboot the assertion throughout the proceedings, the tribunal should proceed to uphold the declaration. Amongst others, the final written address read, "Very importantly, the first respondent, INEC, which conducted the elections, made an open admission in paragraph 18 of its reply to the petition, where it unequivocally stated, thus, the first respondent further avers that in compliance with the extant laws and regulation, it diligently discharged its duties when it collated the first petitioner's scores at the election, which aggregates to 6,984,520, winning only 21 states. Atiku is therefore praying that the court upholds the assertion of INEC in the process and declare him the winner of the February 25 presidential elections. The People's Democratic Party and its candidate Atiku Abubakar had on the 21st of March filed the petition challenging the emergence of President Bola Tinubu in the February 25 elections. The petitioner's petition, which was among the 3 petitions remaining following the withdrawal of Action Alliance and the Action People's Party from the race, were given 3 weeks to prove their case before the respondents INEC, Tinibu and APC opened the defense when pre-election reports were delivered on the 23rd of May 2023. So far, the petitioners have called 27 witnesses to prove their case, amongst other documents tendered. The respondent on their part called a sole witness whose evidence covered the field. The witness demonstrated undoubted competence to testify in the respect of the subject submitted before the court, including issues surrounding the U.S. proceedings, himself being a United States practicing attorney and counselor at law. Also being a lawmaker who participated in the enactment of the Electoral Act 2022, he stated the position and intention of the legislature, particularly as it relates to appropriate mode of transmission as well as transfer and collation of results. Nigerians await the adoption of these processes and a possible date for judgment by the 5-man panel of the Presidential Election Petition Court.
Okay, all right, you've heard it there from the video, and the truth is, from what he's saying, I guess we would have to wait to see the trend of events, how they unfold, because with this on our hands now, I don't know what the tribunal will be saying, because everybody is asking to be declared winner. Obi is asking to be declared winner. Atiku is asking to be declared winner. Even Asiwaju is saying he won. So I don't know what is happening, but in more explanation to that fact, there are only two possible verdicts that may be given by the Court of Appeal. The first is either from the way things are going, there will be a rerun of elections, or the second one, the second possible outcome would be that there will be sort of disqualification, and then there will be a re-election kind of thing, because there is a difference between rerun or a runoff and a rerun. Yes, a runoff is actually, according to the constitution, where two people, one who got the legitimate votes and one who got the majority votes, would come out and vie again for the same seat. And then a rerun is there will be a fresh election. So in order to add more light on that, I have Associate Professor of Law Sam Amadi, who is also an Arise analyst, who will explain everything so you understand the two possible outcomes of the tribunal after these addresses have been given. That is what we're waiting for. So we'll keep our fingers crossed to see the address or to see the verdict of the tribunal. So listen to Associate Prof. Sam Amadi while he explains the two possible or most possible outcomes at the tribunal.
Well, first, nobody knows what the court will do, because the court will normally look at what has transpired. But the briefs we've seen in public domain that have been circulated seems to like many of those petitioners are asking for invalidation on the ground of maybe non-compliance, or on the ground that nobody was validly elected. And the Constitution seemed to have provided for that. If you look at Section 134, so assuming the court comes to that decision, the tribunal, that the election for whatever reason has to be invalidated, then the Constitution, the tribunal may order another election, or if it's because nobody won, nobody got the required numbers to win based on the evidence they have, then they're going to do a runoff. The question there is, how do we select who will
do the runoff? But the Electoral Act, I thought, is clear for a runoff there.
The Electoral Act, the Constitution 134(3).
Yes.
The problem is that people mistake two things. It talks about, first, that the person who has the highest number of votes, so easy to determine. So when the tribunal has looked at all the votes and certified those they think are valid, the person who has the highest number of votes is in. The other person who comes in to run in that runoff will be the person who has a majority of votes in the highest number of states. Now that's where it becomes tricky. The question is, what's the majority, legally speaking, as regards maybe highest number of votes? If you watch, the language of the Constitution are always specific. So it didn't use in the section 134(2), where it talked about what it takes to win. You must have the highest number of votes.
I hope we're having that, on the screen.
Yes, they should have it on the screen, so people can read it.
Yeah.
So unlike where it talks about who wins in terms of majority of vote and majority two-thirds of votes cast, here it says majority. Now if you look at the law, black law dictionary, under dictionaries, a majority is, you have majority when you score more than half. So they're going to look at who has more than half of the votes in a state. You have state A, B, C, and D. So the person who has the highest of that majority, more than half. So for example, if I win in state A and I won with, let's say, 30% of the vote, that's not a majority of the vote cast. So if I win with 52%, for example, that's majority. So the black law dictionary, for example, Merriam-Webster says a number or quantity greater than half of the total is majority. If you look at current dictionary, say the same thing. It's a number of votes, of voters, or jurors, or others in agreement constituting.
All right, I believe you are clear there with everything that is happening, because the truth remains that these are the two most possible outcomes of the ruling of the tribunal. So let's see, if it's either a rerun or a re-election, then we'll know what's up, or we'll know what's going to happen with the candidates at the presidential elections that have actually filed these petitions respectively. Now, before I go further, the last update, I will urge our viewers, please like our videos, share them to people around you, your family members, friends, and associates, and outside Nigeria too. Don't forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section, and then watch till the end. Tap the notification bell so you're going to be the first with first-hand information anytime we drop new videos. Now, finally, on the issue of the EndSARS victims in Lagos State, there has been a rumor that over 62 million naira was approved for the mass burial of 103 persons who died at the Lekki toll gate during the EndSARS revolt period. Now, there is a very big controversy here, because the Lagos State government is trying to say that these 103 people did not die at the Lagos State Lekki toll gate, and then the people that are involved in this, barristers, legal practitioners, families, are saying these people were picked up from the Lekki toll gate, 103 bodies. Then, if the government is saying this was not the case, then where were 103 bodies picked from? Nigerians. Are we supposed to shave this with the wave of hand? No. So I think I have Dele Farotimi, a human rights activist, a lawyer, and one of the counsels to the EndSARS victims, who came out bitterly on air to explain what he thinks is happening to the issue, and he called the Lagos State government names because he feels they are lying over this particular incident. Of course, they've always denied that there was no killing at the Lekki toll gate, but I think this particular video will serve as an evidence for you to know what Babajide Sanwo-Olu and other people of the Lagos State government have been doing in the background as regards to the killing of the people in the Lekki toll gate.
DJ Switch, God bless her soul. At risk to her life, she had a live Instagram feed. That is not a recording that was posted, a live feed. I saw victims, people with bullet wounds. I, in conjunction with many others, dealt with victims. The same Lagos State government that has continued to deny what is slapping it in the face is even paining me that my dear friend, Mr. Omotosho, is not available to come and help them amplify these lies again. They will continue to lie about what... Look, let's deal with the facts as we know them right now. The panel was emphatic there was a massacre. That one, let them stop all that gaslighting and obfuscating. So if you say these 103 people were not the ones that were picked up from the toll gate, if human life truly matters in our country, where were these ones picked up? Exactly where? The entire purpose of the coroner's law is so that you have accountability for even for the dead.
No, a list is
provided. But when the state is the one actively seeking to cover the truth.
A list is provided. A list of places where some of those bodies were picked up, you know, is provided or was provided.
Doctor,
including Ikoyi
the Lagos State government will prefer. That is a blatant, horrible, easily verifiable lie. People can go and look, doctor, the Lagos State government will prefer that we are having this back and forth about the nitty-gritty of the facts, but the facts are not in dispute. The same Sanwo-Olu and co who are busy denying what took place, they paid cash. They paid cash to victims. The lawyers who actually appeared in court, Babashino Ogunlana, Ayo Ademiluyi, they will tell you as a fact that victims that were represented by them, numbering over 20, at least those who survived with wounds, they were paid in cash, millions in cash. Baba Ogunlana Ademiluyi had to refuse to accept what was offered to them. So when they come out and they start telling these lies, I'm not speaking out of hatred for anybody, but I refuse on behalf of those who have died, as long as you have a mic in front of me, I refuse to help them normalize the lies they are telling. But to even now deal with something that everybody appears to be forgetting. Not only have you denied the humanity of these persons by denying that they were killed, 103 people are going to be given mass burials.
Hello, Dele Farotimi, are you still there?
No, I think it's okay. Can you say something?
Okay, we'll take a short break while we try to re-establish connection with our guest, Dele Farotimi, who has been talking about the 103 victims of the endsars and the aftermath that the Lagos State government has had to respond to over the weekend. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the morning show here on the Arise News channel. Our guest is still Dele Farotimi, a lawyer and one of the defendants of endsars victims. Dele Farotimi, good to have you back. If you may just conclude your thoughts. You were talking about the 103 victims for mass burial.
I was explaining that beyond the inanities that they will prefer that we focus on, it is critical that we look even at the document itself. You want to bury 103 human beings whose humanity you have denied, who are not in any way, shape, or form acknowledged as beings, but you have voted 61 million naira. So on each one of them, you are telling us you want to bury each one of them for 500,000. Even in burying the evidence of your complicities, you have to inflate the cost of their burial. They mean nothing. And those who are busy defending them and who want us to be having this insane discussion about whether it happened or it did not happen, because it happened. Let us just focus on making sure things like this do not happen in our country again.
Well, you've heard it there, and I will not say much because the truth remains that people have died, and we are not supposed to wave this with the wave of a hand. Dele Farotimi is bitter because the Lagos State government has come out to deny, to tell lies that these 103 bodies were not found in the Lekki toll gates. Where were they found then? These are 103 dead Nigerians. Are they supposed to be shaved just with the wave of the hand? Do you understand what I'm trying to say now? So the truth remains is that we will see if this rumor is actually felt or is actually verified, because the Lagos State government the least they can do is to compensate these families and bury the dead peacefully. But why inflate the burial price of 403 people? Are you trying to say that you're going to use over 500,000 naira to bury one person? Seriously? Mass burial? Nah, that's very, very sad. So even at the site of death, even at the moment where you have to clean up your mess, you are inflating costs. The Lagos State government should check this. Thank you so much for staying with us, and I hope you enjoyed our updates together. See you next time in my next video. Bye.